you? Good evening, folks. It's Sunday night, and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap. It's like an episode of Rainbow here. We have a full house here tonight as we tackle the Queen of Time, Frasier Heinz and Wendy Padbury, and our Lost Story, Season 4, Story number 2. Oh, shut up. Bloody technology. We have the sister of the celestial toy maker. We have Snapping Dragon, who for me were the star of this fucking thing because they cook, they clean, they bartend, and they captured the intruder. So I enjoyed Snapping Dragon when it came to this. You have the world of the Inner Emporium. You have various clocks, and you have many games galore as the Doctor is invited to dinner. Let's just say I was looking forward to roly-poly pudding as well. What did you think about that? Well, we're about to find out, but before we get to that, let's get to this. It's your vast cast this evening. Joining us from Mass, it's Sue. How are we doing, Sue?
Hi.
Straightforward and to the point. Thank you, dearie. Good to see you. All the way from Tottenham, looking dapper. It's Philip Bartlett. How are we doing, Phil?
Good evening, my dear sir.
Good to see you, mate. All the way from Texas, he has a beard that must have feel Timbo. How goes it, mate?
Howdy.
Good to see you, mate. Back with us again for his second stint. Kieran, how goes it, mate?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Good to see you, mate. All the way from NYC, Mr. Will Medina. Will?
Hey, now, how you doing, everybody?
Good to see you, mate. All the way from down under, he has the thunder. AJ, how goes it?
Alive and kicking, no longer sick.
There you go, mate. Barry White has left the building and joining us for the first time. Jake, how are you, mate?
Hello, greetings, and thank you for having me.
No problem, mate. Good to see you in glorious HD with your new birthday laptop. So yeah, guys, the Queen of Time, Lost Story, Season 4, Episode 2. Frasier Heinz in double duty here as Jamie McCroom and the second Doctor, ably standing in for the late great Pat Troughton. We have Hecuba, the Queen of Time, played by Will.
She was played by Caroline Faber.
And very mischievously too, if I do say so myself. She had a fondness to laugh and giggle and somewhat flirtatious at the same time. So, opening thoughts, guys. Somewhat of a deer caught in the headlights type story when it comes to the Doctor. What do we think? Timbo, opening thoughts, Queen of Time, mate. Frasier Heinz and Wendy. Oh, sorry, mate. Frasier Heinz and Wendy Padbury.
It was good. It was a lot of fun, and it was pretty funny in a lot of ways. It reminds you of stuff like was it the Time Robber or the Celestial Toymaker or whatever. But
yep,
it was. I think it was a little bit repetitive, though. I mean, each episode ends with the same cliffhanger. One of them's about to die, and she's just laughing her head off. And it's kind of silly. I mean, but it's just over the top. It's very over the top, but almost camp in a way.
I mean, yeah.
It's fun. I think maybe if they, I don't want to say it drags or anything. It's a 4-parter. It's designed to be an episode you would have seen on TV if they ever done it back then. But I think I would have shaved about 10 minutes off of it, made it a little tighter.
Okay.
That's my only real complaint about it. But otherwise, it's a lot of fun.
All righty. Cool. Kieran, Queen of Time, what do you reckon, mate?
The Queen of Time, I thought was an okay story. I would say it's mediocre at best. I feel as though a lot of elements from the Celestial Toymaker was used for this story. Even the main antagonist, Hecuba, I think.
Hecuba, yeah.
Yeah, I feel as though that was a lot like the Toymaker in certain ways. I didn't know until you just said that was, did you say sister?
That's what was implied, yeah.
Yeah, but Frasier Heinz does a very good job at impersonating Patrick Troughton's second Doctor, and he also does stellar performance as Jamie. He's a really good voice actor. Wendy Padbury is also very good. I really do like her narrative. Both actors really do play off each other very well. Caroline Faber was superb for what she was given. She did a very well-rounded performance, though I did find her character to be kind of annoying at times. It's just that laughing, that giggling kind of got annoying and repetitive at times, and it's more like a pantomime character than anything.
Oh, no, it's not. Yeah.
But I do find the trio to do a great job at what they are given. Yeah, a very experimental story. And I think it would have worked better on TV than on audio form.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Thank you. Well, what do you reckon, mate?
Oh,
Piss off. I'm turning this off.
okay. This is not. It's a good story.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting if it was made on TV. So that I would love it's just to see a character like this do appear on TV.
Yeah.
If not, maybe Hecuba could come back again and meet other doctors, since it was implied in this story that the Celestial Toymaker had already faced the Doctor more than one time. So that stood up pretty good. So that I look forward to that in audio coming up whenever that's done. Even though it was only a three-person cast, it stood out pretty good. It was paced. I know that's a little bit like Tim said. It could have been a couple of minutes could have been cut off here and there, but it was paced pretty good, especially when Jamie and this girl was facing a lot of challenges and all that. And of course, she was able to solve a couple of them, and Jamie was helping her when she became aging old and to a child like that. So at least he was able to help her with that.
Okay.
I understand. I can understand. Karen, she was laughing and her, but she's not a human. She's like she considers herself a being that has her own rules. So to her, laughing and the way the food was gathered and all that, that's normal for her like that. So that stood out. But I would like to see her come back like that. But I gotta give it was a good paced story. Of course, you gotta give Lisa Bombman great for her direction in this story like that.
Yeah, of course, get your hat and going. Yeah, there you go.
You got that. My thumb is right there. And
there you go.
so it stood out pretty good. I would like to see her come back. That's a good thing. I'll tell you other stuff in a few minutes.
All right, mate, no problem. All right, so let's have it.
I liked the games. I liked the jeopardy of being turned into a clock. That was really interesting, and it was pretty confusing at the beginning. I'm glad that they resolved it, and I agree with the other fellows about the interplay between Jamie and Zoe, and I thought they were really clever. And so that's my really opening thought.
Okay. All right, Philip, lay on us. What's pink and fluffy?
Okay, oh, please. I did enjoy this. This is very good. I tell you what, with her being all giggly and excitable, the Queen of Time. I can't say her name. It's a bit weird.
Hecuba.
Hecuba. Right. You know what? It's a stark contrast to Michael Goth's Celestial Toymaker, because he was the kind of dark and moody, where she's all up for fun and play. That's kind of a good contrast, that they have her being all girly words.
Flirtatious, I believe the term you're looking for.
Even to the Doctor, which was quite funny, because he's like, I don't understand flirts and love and romance.
I'm just glad she said roly-poly pudding and nothing else. But
yeah, and I did also like the you know what? I think this is Frasier Heinz' best vocalization of Troughton's Doctor.
Okay.
Because it was very spot on.
All right.
Yeah, and the story itself with Jamie and Zoe being caught up in all the workings of the clocks and going through, especially the what do you call it, the glass hour thing, with the sound.
The hourglass.
Hourglass. That was cool. I like that as well. Okay. But the demise at the end is pretty much the same as Celestial Toymaker, which wasn't much of a
wee bit of rehash.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Jake, go for it, mate. Opening thoughts.
I love this story. It's the first. I'm not really one who likes one with narration in, but I thought the narration flowed really well, and the story as a whole. I like the different aspects. So it has a bit of Mind Robber, it has a bit of the Celestial Toymaker mixed together. I like, and the person who's written this, Catherine Harvey, I think has done such a good job of world setting. It's like you're there, all the clocks ticking in the background, make it really atmospheric. But I agree with what everybody else says. The villain gets really irritating with the laughing. Yeah, we get you're evil, you don't have to laugh every 5 minutes about it. But the way she was so childish made her really creepy in sort of a human respect, if that makes sense.
Okay.
She's a human child who wants what she wants, so she's going to giggle every time she gets it right. That's what I think about that. Acting was good. I liked Frasier Heinz's portrayal of the Second Doctor, although some places I didn't really hear it, but from other stuff that I've heard, as Philip said, this is probably one of his best ones he's done as Patrick Troughton.
Alrighty, thank you, mate. Alright, AJ, saving the best for last. What's topsy-turvy one say about the Queen of Time?
All right, I enjoyed the story. I agree. It could have worked on TV. I also agree it's a bit of a rehash for the Celestial Toymaker. I did not like the laughing. That was highly irritating to me. You know, that high-pitched girly laughter. I think that they should have played up a little bit because she's the Queen of Time. The Doctor, you know, being a little bit afraid of her, you know, oh, you know, my people know of this creature, you know. She's like one of the most evilest creatures in the universe, you know, toying with people like us.
Okay.
You know, wanderers in the fourth dimension. I just think it would have been better if it was on TV, because I would have liked to see the set pieces and the danger they had, you know, during that sort of time period.
Okay.
Because it would have worked really well. But other than that, it was an amazing story.
All right, mate, thank you. And yeah, I can come up with the consensus of the group here, folks. It was enjoyable. The laughing was a wee bit repetitive. Some of the story elements was a wee bit of a trip down memory lane with regards to Michael Goff's stint as a toy maker. I think that's what they were aiming for, right enough, don't get me wrong. It was obviously a family member. I like the element whereby everybody who gets trapped within our inner sanctum ended up as a different variant of a timepiece. I thought that was quite interesting. Jamie wasn't too chuffed about potentially becoming a sundial. I guess he's got something against the sun being Scottish. Hey ho, what can be said? Snapping Dragon. My God, talk about multitasking minions. They cook, they clean, they waiter, they entrap your prey. That's what you call some really hard-hitting minions there, man. So fair play to them. Although, what was that meal they had? Was it a chicken within a cow, within a duck, within a mouse?
Oh yeah, that's right.
What the hell was that, man? Jeez.
A Russian doll type of food eating.
Yeah, there was a fucking dormouse right at the... It didn't sound very appetizing. But I think that's what they were going for. No, but it's only 4 parts. It's easy enough. I'd probably agree with Tim if the...
Better than a haggis.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with haggis, man. So if they'd shaved maybe 10-15 minutes after the full thing, it might have, I think it tightened up a wee bit more, but it's enjoyable enough. You can't really grumble. The leads are in top form, and the guest actress as Hecuba is, laughing aside, it's quite good in a role. So yeah, and we've got a wee cameo with Mary Antoinette. Let them eat cake. So why not? It might be for you. Yeah, bash. It was a supposed lost story. Right, guys, let's move it along. Any events or circumstances within this tale that stood out for you? Quickly, Kieran, anything stand out?
My favourite moment would probably have to be the ending of part 1, because you get a feel of just how powerful this antagonist really is, and which sets up nicely for the story ahead. So yeah, but the end of part 1 is probably my favourite scenes. Right, there's a couple of favourite scenes, but I think that one stood out.
Okay.
The most for me.
Champion. Sue, how about you?
Snapping Dragon, and they're going for it, and I enjoyed the hope for Jamie and Zoe and stuff.
All right. Well, we'll pass on your regards to Crackle and Pop. Tim, how about you, mate?
Well, baby Zoe was cute.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
I have to agree about Snap and Dragon. I think they're like the worst. They're dogs that are doing all these jobs. Like you said, they're like minions, and they're really bad at what they do. They don't cook the thing properly. They don't. They just do it and bring it out. And then menace everybody when they're meant to. They were pretty funny.
Yeah, Snap and Dragon. Good old minions. Philip, anything for you, mate?
Tim stole my bit about the aging of Zoe. Up to an old crone. That was I like that kind of part of it.
Yeah, episode 3 cliffhanger. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of how the TARDIS is the saviour of the whole thing, because it falls in between the clock's hands and
the chronometer. Yeah.
The chronometer, and freezes time and causes Hector to lose control of the game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite clever.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Jake, anything for you, mate?
I like most of the scenes where Jamie and Zoe are trying to jump the minute hand, or was it that minute hand scene?
The chronometer, yeah.
Yeah. From being killed. It just gave a whole Alice in Wonderland vibe. That's what I was constantly getting from this story. Alice in Wonderland, clocks, crazy woman, like Mad Hatter-esque, just evil. And it's just really, it's creepy and funny all mixed together, and I really enjoyed it, especially those particular scenes.
Okay, mate. Thank you. Well, anything for you, mate?
I like the conversation between the doctor and Hecuba. The way she was saying like he never experienced love like that, and it was which is unusual because us fans know that of course he experienced love. He must have had a wife to have a granddaughter, so that was a weird conversation there. That could have been gone more, but they could. Yeah, maybe like I said, if she would come back again, it'll be interesting to see who she talks to. That'd be cool.
It could have been worse. He could have made her a cup of cocoa.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. Okay, AJ, how about you, man?
Yeah, for me, two things. I love the Marco Polo reference in this.
Oh yeah.
And also the thing where the doctor, where they're playing the game, where they have to one-up each other by saying, what they're going to do next in that battle.
Yeah.
And the doctor, the most powerful thing the doctor can think of is peace. And bang, it just blows the whole thing open.
Oh, the tank and the ray gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's what we call a loophole and how to win that one. For me, I agree with the kids. I loved Wendy Padbury in part 3 when she was binging and buttoning her way through the whole part. Aging younger. And you get Jamie throwing the shards of glass at each block, trying to get it to slow down the aging process. I thought that was quite good. The booth at the end, which ended up trapping Hecuba within her own time loop, was quite interesting. Although, even though it was funny that Marie Antoinette ended up there, it was kind of weird that it ended up that way. So, let them eat cake and let's everybody enjoy. Why not? And we've lost somebody. Oh well, I dare say they'll be back. I think it's Tim.
Yeah, it was.
Right, guys. Now that part is over, open mic portion of the cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get this rated and end the can?
I didn't dislike the laughter of the Queen of Time. She was cackling more. I mean, it was just an evil cackle.
Okay, well, happy Halloween, dearie.
Well, like I said, she's just a different personality to the Celestial Toymaker, so she will be a bit more sprightly. What I didn't understand is how it took so long for the Doctor to realise what she was at all. It took him quite a while.
Didn't he? If you recall, he called her in earlier, but the speaker went dead.
Ah, okay.
I would like to add the fact that the writer of this story also wrote the Celestial Toymaker as well. So, a lot of those elements being added into this story.
Hence why we're hearing some of the rehash, I believe. Yeah.
What's cool is that to help Jamie by remembering that painting about the little boy plugging the hole with his finger.
Oh,
yeah, the little Dutch boy. Yeah. Remember the little Dutch boy. Yeah.
At least they used the word dyke, so.
Well, I'll use that anymore. Oh, well, but,
the one thing I would love to have seen if they did make this for TV, because the way they imagined the Queen of Time, I thought anyway, was about 6 foot tall Marilyn Monroe looking sort of woman. I would have loved to have seen Patrick Troughton trying to dance with a woman who was about 6 foot tall in heels, and he's like 5 foot nothing. That would have been a really good contrast to see, the Doctor being slightly overpowered by a taller woman.
Let's just say his face might have been buried somewhere. Yeah.
Bunny would not like that.
Oh my God, you're making me giddy. Yeah, so there we go. Anything else, guys? Jake, anything else you want to bring up?
Bringing up the Queen of Time again, I think they had her laughing like every 5 minutes, because back in the 60s, like watching all the old films, all the villains were like really over the top with their laughing. And I think even though it was incredibly irritating at times, it sort of helped build that 60s vibe, just making it really over the top, like, haha, look at me, I'm evil.
Yeah.
The evil cackle.
Yeah.
Okay. And back from the inner dimension of the inner sanctum, Timbo. Anything else you want to bring up, mate?
Sorry, I had internet trouble.
No problem.
Not really. I think I've covered everything that I had to say about it. It was
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
I think everybody's saying that it would have been nice, it would have been good to see on TV, but I would have thought it would have been a bit of an expensive thing to do.
It really depends on how they portrayed all the clocks, and really, because that could have got a bit repetitive in a way as well.
You can see why they didn't, because it would have been during season 6, and they already had a previous story that was pretty similar, the Mind Robber. So I mean, they would not have done this story that year since they'd already done one very similar.
True.
I think.
All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess it's that time again.
To watch the return of Ash vs. Evil Dead tonight.
Yes, Ashy Slashy, for those of you who hasn't seen it. We love candy, and
don't spoil it.
What are you talking about? That was last week, dumbass.
Okay.
We love candy, so go forth and multiply. Yes.
And avoid the sperm breaks.
There you go. Well, funny enough, for those of you who have seen it, he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, boiling a cup notwithstanding, it's that time again. The Queen of Time, Frasier Heinz and Wendy Padbury. Okay, Jake, newbie, let's go. What do you get?
I will give it a 9.5 out of 10.
There you go, 9.5 out of 10, and he starts off with a bang. All right, Kieran, good to have you back, mate. What do you rate this one, buddy?
I'll be giving this story, my personal opinion, a 7.5 out of 10. The acting was excellent, and they all bounced off each other very well. The audio soundscape was beautiful. But the thing I feel that let this audio down the most was the actual plot itself. I feel it was a little bit messy at times, and like I said, it would have worked, I feel, much better on screen with the more experimental side of season 6.
Okay, mate. Thank you. Admirable score. Philip, what do you go for it, mate? What do you reckon?
I agree with Kieran on the point that it's a bit messy plot-wise, because it seems a bit rushed as well. Like they were chopping from one thing to another so quickly. You didn't get a chance to to absorb what's going on with Jamie and Zoe. It's too.
Right.
But besides that, I'm going to give it. I'll give it 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, because it's no Lord of the Red Planet, but it is.
Yeah. We've already done that one, Phil. But okay, maybe we'll go for your Celtic. Timbo, what do you reckon, mate?
I'm going to give it a 9. I think it's a great story. It's a lot of fun to listen to. I think it gets a bit repetitive in a lot of ways, and that's why I would take off a point. But otherwise, it's a good story.
Oh, good luck, mate. Fine. Double down then. 9 down, take it away. Sue, what say you?
I will give it an 8.
Okay, happy Halloween, dearie. Yeah. Okay. Well, what does NYC say this evening, mate? What do you reckon?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not a bad story. Could have been trimmed here and there, and I hope Big Finish can bring this character back to a future story.
All right. Well, break out the roly-poly pudding. AJ, what's the number from Down Under?
It was a good story. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 for making roly-poly sound like innuendo.
Exactly. That was my first improv, you know. Thank God she said pudding at the end of roly-poly, because I was getting really, really concerned that we were going into, Tenant Season 2 territory here, man. But that notwithstanding, I will give this an 8 out of 10. Very enjoyable. The good points and bad points have been well documented within this cast. And, for just about 2 hours, 1 hour, 50 minutes, it's enjoyable enough. Go give it a listen. It might just be for you folks. Bada bing, bada boom, booyah. Another one in the can. And with that, we are done, dusted, and finito for this evening. You see, Jake, it's quick, dirty, and down with the grind in here, mate. We don't last very long.
It is. I'm surprised how fast it went.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, we don't talk a lot of waffle, that's why. And with that, we are done for the evening. join us next week. Hope everybody who is available can attend. Everybody's welcome each and every week, where we will be tackling a little Third Doctor outing as we anxiously await the Third Doctor Adventures Volume 4. In the event we don't get that, we will be tackling, Phil.
I don't even know what one you're doing.
No, for the love of God.
The story is called Shadow of the Past, Companion Chronicle 4.09.
There you go. We have an outing for Liz Shaw, with Caroline John. There's a bit of narration in there, Jake, so whether you want to join us next week is up to yourself. As you've intimated, narration's not necessarily for you.
Third Doctor, so I probably will.
Yes, hi, good to hear. We will go for that. So yeah, Shadow of the Past, we look forward to that. With that, guys, please check out our buddies on the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You've got the guys and dolls at Geeks Assembled with their TV, movie reviews, and their Audio Heads podcasts. You've got Dr. Freedom, his news broadcast, his Omega Files, and the Adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. You've got Sammy Carter, Johnny Blues, Mike Shannon, whenever he's online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. And with that, guys, take care of yourself and each other, and we'll see you next week. All the best, guys, and we are out of here. Take care, folks.